Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. Sammy here at Sammy J Stitches. It's time for a new vlog. I realize I say welcome back every time, and some people may be new here. So welcome if you're new. Welcome back if you've been here before. Thank you for joining me. Did I say it's Wednesday, March 27th? I don't think I did. So today is Wednesday, March 27th, start of a new vlog. I did not vlog last night, even though, you know, I ended last week's vlog the night before and then uploaded it yesterday. I didn't record because between getting like 2.5 hours of sleep before we had to take Ryan to his doctor's appointment and then having the doctor's appointment, we got home. I took like a 2-hour nap, and then we were just kind of wiped, you know. That's just, it's not enough sleep. It was broken up. We didn't feel like we could sleep too much longer because we had to stay up so that we could sleep today, be ready for work tonight. So we just had a real laid back night. Pop some popcorn, watch some movies. My husband had not seen Fantastical Beasts and Where to Find Them, so I had to rewatch that one with him, which I needed the refresher because there was some parts of it I don't remember if I saw the first time. And then we watched the new one, Crimes of Grindelwald, and I have to say I was intrigued but minorly disappointed. Like, I really hope there's another one coming, right? Has anybody... I didn't look this up. Maybe I should have, because... Anyway. Here we are, and it is time to stitch. And especially today of all days, I want to take a moment and I want to thank the community. The stitching community as a whole, because I have made so many friends here that are more than just somebody I talk to online. I feel like I can go to them with my problems. I feel like if I have problems and don't want to talk about it, they're great distraction. Stitching itself is a good distraction, and I had kind of a crummy day. It had nothing to do with me. It has to do with family members, and then I feel for them, and it makes me hate the world and hate the justice system, and there's so much out there that just could use a little work, and I can't do anything about any of it, so my best bet is just to stitch. So what are we going to stitch today? Well, of course, Mini Phantom of the Masquerade means it's Time in the Sun. Now, I'm kind of glad I wasn't in officially for this quarter, because every time I'm off work, I haven't stitched on it. But it has gotten really good progress. So the 90-day thing is great for me, because there's something about working on it a little bit every day that keeps it easy. When you park threads and you have all this going on a HAID, and then you put it away for 3 months and then pull it back out, sometimes it takes like an hour or so to get back into it, and then you're putting it away again. This way I'm working on it a little bit each day. I'm keeping myself refreshed. Now, at the end of this quarter, which is March 31st, I will be moving to one of my other HAIDs, but then I get that time on time with it. I'm going to try and be official next time, so I am going to have to work on that stitching at home, even if it's the only thing I put a few stitches into. So I'm going to work on it first. Also, I'm going to be working on Peter Polar Bear for that thing I'm scared of. If you didn't watch that explanation last week, you should really go back and watch it. It was pretty funny. Get that finished up, and then see where we go next, because I'll be caught up on homework and ready to dive into something new. I want to stitch and I want to stitch on everything, and I can only do so much, so it's exciting. I did get a few things in the mail today, and since we were in Odessa for my son's doctor's appointment, we had to stop by the Hobby Lobby. This was actually because we stopped to eat at a restaurant that's right by the Hobby Lobby. And I was like, but honey, it's right there. He's like, go. Now, I didn't go crazy. I went in to get myself some of these quilters clips, because I'm doing some sewing at home, and not doing a great job because my stuff's moving on me. But pins don't really work. So I got some of these quilter clips, and I've seen them all over Flosstube. Like, people use them for, you know, pinning their stitching to stuff and all kinds of stuff. So I wanted to stop and get some of those. And of course I had to browse the stitchy aisle just a little bit. But I wasn't planning on buying anything, but these just screamed at me, and I looked at my husband and he said, of course. So I got me a new pair of scissors. I'll focus on the scissors. Aren't those gorgeous? They're so pretty. There we go. So I can't wait to play with these tonight. And they were on sale. I don't know if it's I'm sure it's the same at every Hobby Lobby. These, $3.99. So run, don't walk, and get yourself a bunch of scissors, because you can never have too many, right? And they're gorgeous, and they're a nice weighty thing, and they're super sharp. Do not let your kids play with these. Okay. And then I did get some mail. I haven't even opened it, but I have a pretty good idea of what it is, so I didn't really need to till I was talking to y'all. I may have a battery issue, so if I cut off quickly, I'll be back just as quickly. It looks like my color and cotton flosses from Crazy Annie's. We've got taffy. My lighting's not great. It's a hazy day, but oh my goodness. So it's a little bit lighter than what it's showing up on the camera, but not too much. Rock candy. This has some bright pinks and some, come on, focus, purples in there. You can definitely see it though. Yay! Sea foam. This one's a little less variegated, but gorgeous color. And then, okay, sorry about that. So last week I had some issues with the microphone, and my husband's like, maybe you need to make yourself a checklist before you start recording now to make sure you have everything, and apparently check the status of the batteries needs to go on that list. So I'm gonna add it. Anyway, so the next set I have is my all colors. I get 5 skeins of this. Now I really like the color and cotton, but I don't know how much longer I'm going to be ordering it, only because I am still new to using hand dyeds over DMC, and I'm just not sure how much I'm going to use these. So I don't know. I'm still going back and forth on that. So the first one is Bluebell. It's coming out quite a bit darker there, but I don't have any direct light on it, so it's kind of hard to get. Then we've got Royal Blue. Come on, focus. It's a beautiful blue color. I can keep my hand here. We have Brown Sugar. That's coming out a little richer than it actually is. Just, I've got overcast today, so it's, the lighting's not great. Okay. What do we got here? I didn't look. Sweet potato. Sweet potato. I kind of feel like if I could back up a little bit, maybe the color, well, this one's pretty true. Okay. And rhubarb. It's like, where'd the face go? So, those are my 5 color and cottons this month. Or 8 actually, but you know. 5 all colors, 3 brights. So there's that. Make sure that's it. Okay. And then the other one, because Leslie at Under the Sea Fabrics opted to not do a fabric of the month for March because she's been very, very busy lately. Ooh, I need to check her website too, because I think she was supposed to release April's color today. But since she wasn't having one, I decided to spend the money that I would have spent on fabric of the month and pick something that I knew I needed. And I keep putting off ordering this fabric because I'm like, you don't need it yet. You're not starting that thing yet. You don't need it. But, so this opportunity worked out really well. And I knew exactly what color I wanted. Actually, it's a little lighter than I expected, probably because it's on Joblin. Sorry for the crinkle. Probably it's a little lighter than I expected, probably because it's on Joblin, and kind of similar to what I have for oh my goodness, House Stark. So House Stark was from Fibralicious. This one is from Under the Sea Fabrics. It's also not as mottled as it looks on the website. Again, I think that's the fabric. Darn loving Joblin so much because it doesn't pick it up quite as well as some of the other fabrics. But this is a 32 count Joblin in NYX. 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 So, was hoping it would be a little darker for what I'm using it for, but it'll be okay. That'll work. That'll work. Or maybe I'll go get it in linen and see. We'll see. I don't know. You can never use too much fabric, right? Never have too much. Okay. So, I did not do any stitching at home. You've seen everything except for I did get a little more done on Santa after I stopped recording last week. So let me see if I could pull him out and show you where he's at. Oops. So I'm about to have to move my hoop because I'm really kind of limited on what I can work on here. So that is where he's at. I'm starting the words, and this is the little border. And you can't see, but there is a leg there. There we go. So pretty much all of right here is finished. I need to find a metallic that I'm going to use for his belt. So I may go ahead and move him over in the morning, but you'll see when we check back in. All right. Well, that is all for me this morning. Or this, it's morning for me, people. I don't care if it's 7:30 at night. It's morning for me. And actually get to stitching. I have some Flosstube to watch. Maybe jump on my virtual stitchers. Who knows? We'll see. So I will check back in with y'all here in a little bit. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, March 28th. Very early in the morning. I mean, it's even a little earlier than I normally stop, you know, for the evening pack up, so normally, this is earlier than I would normally check in. However, because of circumstances, I'm going to go ahead and work on my final project of the night, and I'll work on it until my relief gets here in the morning. So, let's see where we're at. First, I worked on Mini Phantom of Masquerade. So let me pull that out and show that to you. Here's where we're at. I'm fixing to have to move my Q-snap. I got it pretty close down there. So that's where I got to. I finished this block and did the part threads in this block. No, just kidding. I just finished that block. I didn't do any part threads today. Or I did just a few down here because between what I did on Believe in Santa yesterday morning and what I did on here, added together equaled the Monopoly move that I needed, and I felt like that was a good stopping point because I don't want this to be a major focus piece now that it's got its page finish, and I'm just working on it the rest of the month to finish the Full Coverage Fanatics event. Then I pulled out my polar bear, my something oh so scary, and finished. Okay, so he already had 220 stitches in him. I finished and I put 287, which put me about 7 stitches over the 500. I decided at that point I didn't want to quit working on him, so I used him also for the extra credit, something that sucks the life out of me, because these Advent animals, they've been a lot, and half the time I don't want to work on them. So here's where he is at now, and I was working on his sweater here and watching a show on an app that doesn't let me have both it and my pattern up. So I was like, you know what, I'm just filling in the sweater. I'll just keep stitching until the episode's over. And so I finished off the sweater, which put me way over the stitches I needed. I only needed 200. I got 274. However, that's still good because I landed on stash tacks on my Monopoly board, and that is 600 stitches. So currently I'm sitting at a little over 500 stitches for that. So whatever I get on Believe in Santa this morning should be more than enough to get me through that and allow me to do another spin. We only have like 3 more days. So, and I'm off for 2 of them. So I don't know if I'm going to get much more done on Stitchopoly. I'm not sure. There's an event next month, but it's in the middle of the month. And I forgot what it is, but I'll be participating. You'll find that out whenever it comes down to it. I feel like that's it. Not a lot of talky. I did jump on Virtual Stitchers for a little bit. Met some new people I hadn't gotten to visit with before, and of course visited with some regulars. I really think that's it. I've been kind of laser focused tonight, and oh, I say that. Alright, well, I will hopefully check back in with y'all tonight. I am off, so we know how that goes. And I'll see you when I see you. Bye. Good evening, y'all, and welcome back. I have already done this once. I did forget to turn on the microphone. It is Saturday, March 30th. Okay, I'm gonna make this short and sweet, and we'll do the whole long spiel like I did earlier in the next video or segment of this video. I haven't gotten to do a whole lot of stitches the last couple. I haven't done any stitching the last couple days on my days off. I'll get into that later. While I was gone, there was a challenge for the School of Magical Stitches to Hogwarts is on Christmas break. So we needed to stitch on something Christmassy or wintry. And I think I'm going to work on my whip go for this week, which is Believe in Santa. I think I can get 600 stitches in the next 4 hours. Sure hope so. And so I'm going to get to working on that. I'm going to skip Mini Phantom of the Masquerade. We're just going to call that one done. I wasn't officially in the 90 days, so no hard feelings. I got my page finished. That was my goal, and it ends tomorrow. Tomorrow I will spin for the new one for the next quarter. So I'm going to jump right into this, and then I will come back and I will tell you about the last 2 days. I will tell you, and then we'll spin for Whip Go to see what the focus piece is this week, and we'll figure out what I'm stitching from there. So I will check back in with y'all here in a few minutes. Alright everybody, welcome back. Okay, I got my 600 stitches in. By the time I actually got to start working on it, it was a little after 8 o'clock, so I decided I need 125 stitches an hour to get it done in time, and I ended up, it was tight, but I ended up getting it in about 11:45, just before the cutoff. So here is where Believe in Santa is now. We got quite a bit there on his face. There. Look at these. I became very, very good at French knots very quickly. So that's where he is at, and I'm super excited. I kind of wished he had gotten to get finished during his week of Whip Go, but I'm not even close, so it wouldn't have happened. But well, maybe had I worked on it every night, but even still, it's more than halfway. So it got some good progress this week. All right, it is officially the 31st, which means I have all of today before I do my numbers. So in a future clip, but during this video, I'll do like a recap of how March turned out for me. In the meantime, let's spin Whip Go. With it being after midnight, I'm probably just going to work on whatever gets drawn. Probably. I don't have any homework right now. I don't have anything else going on. So, I'm thinking about trying something different in April. Now, I can't guarantee this, that this is what I'm going to do, but here's what I'm thinking. I know that I've been telling y'all I'm starting to feel the need for a little bit of monogamy. Not necessarily that I could be a monogamous stitcher or anything like that, but I look back and some of my projects have either not been touched this year or have had very, very little time worked on them. So I think for April, I am going to have a set rotation of sorts. Now this is going to be hard with magical stitches. So here's my rule. We already have, I'm going to have a Haid that I work on every day for the next quarter. Don't know what that one is yet. And then, in fact, we'll pick that here in a minute too. So I'll work on that at the beginning of the night. I'll work on something else, and then when I pack up, I'll have my Whip Go at the end of the night. I will not change projects. That middle project, because the first one's going to be set for the entire month. The second one's going to be set for each week. The one in the middle that changes daily, it's going to be the only one. I'm not going to work on multiple projects in a night anymore. It's a lot of fun to do that, especially on ones I don't particularly like. Okay, throw 200 stitches in it and move on. The problem is I didn't get a finish in March, which isn't that big of a deal to me, but it has been making me feel like I need a little more focus than I've had lately. Had my fun, need some focus. So for the month of April, I'm going to have a semi-set rotation. Year of Whips will come first. I'm even partially considering just going down my list. Year of Whips first. The next is any Mania things that were not included in my Year of Whips. And then everything else. I'm going to write them all down on the calendar. Now, it's going to have to be adjusted slightly because of days off, because I don't really stitch much. And I may have to adjust a little for homework. If I do that, like let's say homework says stitch, I don't know, 300 stitches on something with blue, and I pick, I really don't have any good examples in the top of my head. Let's say Pretty Little London, and I bring it to tomorrow so that I can get my homework done. I can't use Pretty Little London the rest of the month, and whatever was slotted for that, we either just push down, which may be kind of hard if I'm writing it down. It either just gets pushed or it gets swapped with that other one, something. Each thing is only going to get worked on once the entire month, which means, like, it's gonna, the only exception would be if I've already worked on something and it comes up in Whip Go. But so this is as focus as I think I can get. I think I want to try and do it like, see, once every few months, right? Have 1 month where I don't, even if it means I miss out on the homework, even if it means I have to do penalty stitches, I need to do a little bit of focusing here. So that's the plan. Now let's select our Whip Go. Sometimes I worry I talk a little too much without a whole lot of things to show you, so you're just staring at me waving my hands around, but it kind of is what it is. Okay, let's see what we got going on. Focus. Just gotta hide my face back here. I didn't forget to turn the microphone on this time. P. Okay, this one, I'm gonna say this again, it's gonna bite me in the butt. This one's fairly open because I've only got one thing marked. If it lands on a 2, I'm just gonna laugh. So that's been our luck lately, right? Watch, watch. Ooh, just barely missed it. Number 3. Okay, so P3 is be free. See if you can see right there. So we're gonna put a little mark on it so that I know it's been worked on, just in case we don't finish it this week. Which this is another one of my ornaments, so is a possibility. So I'll be pulling that out whenever I pack up my car fairly early in the morning, because my relief in the morning is an early bird. Oh, but between now and then, nope, I'm just gonna pull it out now. We're gonna work on it until 4 a.m. Okay, that's what we're gonna do, or until I leave. I mean, I'll stop at some point and pack up, but I'm just gonna focus on Be Free tonight. So you will get to see a little bit of it here in a little bit. And then, oh, let's find out which Heaven and Earth design is going to get some focus time. Do I not have one? I thought I had one. It might have been on my other phone. Okay. This is easy enough. Whoops. Hold, please. I could have sworn I created this one already. And I just put the my abbreviation for it. So I'm gonna leave Mini Phantom of the Masquerade on there. If it lands on that, I will not choose that one because we just finished it. But it makes the wheel a little more interesting. Plus, the fourth quarter, I'll be choosing from any of them if I got a page finish on all of them. So here we go. Those colors are horrible. I shouldn't have picked those colors. Well, I didn't pick, but. Mini Alice in a Dolly Dream will be my focus piece for next month. So that way I can go ahead and post it on Full Coverage Fanatics. And we're good to go. Alright. So I'm going to get to stitching. Oh. No, I'm not. I told you the last 2 days I was going to catch up. So I last talked to y'all Thursday morning. Then I went home, got a few hours of sleep, and then my daughter had a band competition. It's her first year in band. Our town did a makeshift, like a mock UIL competition type thing, like the high school marching bands go and compete. It's like that, but for little kids, or for the younger kids, so that they could see what it's like to compete as a band. Their school made Division I, and that is the highest honor you can get for band. So she was extremely excited, and they did have other schools come from other districts too, and even the judges were not from any of the districts that came, I don't think. I know they weren't from our school. So she's also going to have a solo competition later this month. She's nervous and excited for. And then after I got done there, I came home, started cleaning, and I'm moving all my crafting stuff from a dresser in one room to a bookshelf in a different room. And so that's been kind of a slow process to make sure I get rid of anything I don't need. I'm properly displaying the things I do need so I can find them. That's pretty exciting. Yesterday, we went to, I woke up early, but I went gangbusters on my house because it totally needs it. And then I the kids came home and they're like, there's a carnival, tonight's the last night, can we go? Yeah, sure, let's go. So on the way there, I stopped by Joann's and did a little shopping. I got that and some E6000 so I can make a few needle minders, because I got a bunch of pins when we were in London, and I'm going to cut the backs off and make them into needle minders. So that's my own personal souvenir. And then we went to the carnival. We had a ton of fun. We were completely exhausted when we got home, so I went to sleep. I slept till about 2 o'clock today. Then went grocery shopping, went by Hobby Lobby and got some dye, some fabric, fun stuff. Oh, because they sell the 1 through 35. Joann's doesn't, but Hobby Lobby does. So I was stocking up on a few of those. And I was on my way home and got called into work. So here we are. That's why I haven't stitched in 2 days. That is it. So I think that's everything now. I'm gonna get to stitching and I will check back in with y'all here in a little bit. Hey y'all, quick check-in, pop in again. It's not quite time to pack up. Well, I could probably go ahead and pack up. It's about 3:30, but I have one small problem. I finished my whip go project, so I'm gonna have to draw another one. So here's where we're at, and it means I actually managed a finish in March. Isn't it adorable? Love those little bees. It's not exactly perfect because I messed up and I didn't care, and here we are. Can you figure out where? Yeah. Okay. So that's one finish. Let's spin again. That means I can mark another spot on my Let Go board. Oops, wasn't supposed to do that. Okay. I need to reprint the Whip Go board since I messed up Sheila Sheep. Okay. So, here we go. And another P. I wonder if we're going to spin the same on this one. Remember, 2 and 3 are out. So if we get either of those, we get to spin again. Well, it's being diverse today, isn't it? 1, House Targaryen. Now, the whip goal for House Targaryen is 2 pages. So, I don't think I'll be getting that done this week, but it's not a lofty goal because those stitch up actually really fast. So, I'm going to get that pulled out, get it started, and I'll check back in with y'all in an hour. See ya. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. It is Sunday, March 31st. I did not check in again with y'all this morning. After I got off the video and I started to, you know, kind of put some stuff up, start to pull out House Targaryen, I realized I had some other things I needed to do, some organizing I needed to get done, and really, honestly, I have a little bit more I need to do now before I get started this evening. But I had a few things I needed to discuss with you. First is how much the School of Magical Stitches runs our lives. And I shouldn't say that. Like, it's not just School of Magical Stitches for me, because I also do events with Sane Stitchers. I think that's really it right now, but sometimes they have multiple going on. Now, they are typically just stitch count. It is not very often that they give you a what to work on. Sometimes it'll be like, hey, some blue stitches, some brown stitches, but for the most part, they don't tell you what to work on. School Magical Stitches does. So I'm in limbo. I'm done with homework. I'm done with extra credit, except for watching Prisoner of Azkaban. And school, Semi-Sane Stitchers, Stitchopoly just ended. They don't have a month-long big event. They have the non-counting events. They do have a 2-week event in the middle of the month, so I've still got a little ways to wait for that. It's the last day of the month. So I'm kind of in this limbo where I'm trying to decide what it is I want to work on. I really should just spin my Year of Whips wheel, but all I have left on it is small ones that I don't particularly feel like working on. I probably should. I could probably whip out another finish if I started now, but that's just, it's not calling to me, and it'll mean I stitch a lot slower tonight. So we'll see. I haven't figured out what I'm going to stitch on tonight. I did come here though, one, to tell you that, and two, because I got some Stitchy Kindness in the mail, and so I wanted to show y'all because that's awesome. I feel like I got something in the mail recently, but I guess I must have shown y'all, right? I had to. Sorry, my brain is working. Anyway. So I got a little card. And this is from Jessie Marie and Thor. And when I started Lady of the Flag on September 11th, Jessie had jumped on and we were discussing things, and she said, have you bought the Kreinik for this pattern yet? And I said no. She said, well, don't. I will send it to you. Because I believe she converted hers to Petite Treasure Braid or something else. So those came in the mail today. They're lovely. And then she also sent me the School of Wizardry and Stitchcraft needle minder from Snarky Crafter Designs. So I think that is absolutely adorable, and I may have to use it tonight. I don't know why I feel like I got something in the mail that I haven't shown you. I haven't gotten mail in a few days until today. I don't know. Anyway, I guess that's it. No, because I know I definitely showed you that. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to sit down and get my March, everything that happened this month kind of packaged, get April's list of whips ready, and then go from there when it comes to picking something to work on. So I'll check it back in with y'all here in a little bit. Hey there everybody, just a quick check-in. So it's about 9:30. It's taking me way too long to get my stuff together, but there's been tons of distractions and tons of just information I needed to handle. And actually I'm not completely done. I just remembered that I haven't done my stitch count for the month, but it would be inaccurate anyway because I'm hoping to still get some stitches in before the end of the month. So where I'm currently at, I have worked on 25 whips. I started the month with 49. I started something new on the 19th. I finished something at the end of the month, so I have 49 going into next month. That will change slightly because I plan on working on one more thing until midnight, or maybe through the night depending on what homework is, and being something that I haven't already worked on. So I'll have 26 things that I've worked on. I doubt we'll have a finish. Even if so, it'd go on April, because after midnight, you know, it's April 1st. I went ahead and got my calendar for next month set up, so I will give you a quick preview of that. So when you hear, see, if you are a day shifter, if you do not sleep all day and stay up all night, this kind of stuff is easy for you. The first is the first. but I sleep. But I work through the night. So like tonight at midnight starts the first, and then I have a split in the middle, and then the evening. So what I'm doing is, when I come, the time I would typically come to work, so 6 p.m., that is what I am considering the first. So whatever I do from midnight until I leave and this morning isn't going to count towards what I was saying before with the monthly, like working on one project all night, not one. If you don't understand what I'm saying, go back about, 10 minutes in this video to where I explained the plan. So the plan is to work on, or to focus on a project each night. If I start at midnight, so then I work on it from midnight until, let's say, 5, and then I work on my Whip Go project until my relief shows up. Then I have to pull that same then I work on my Haid, and then I pull that same project back out. And then I have to change at midnight again. It messes with the flow. And the whole point of dedicating this section, or each night, to one whip is to not interrupt the flow. So, I'm not counting, I'm not going to split it. So starting tonight, or the night of the 1st, it's not quite there yet, I will get to work on my Haid, work on whatever the focus project is all the way through the night until I'm put everything up and work on my Whip Go. And that will be considered day 1, and then so on and so forth. So, I hope that makes sense to you. It makes sense to me. So I went ahead and planned out the entire month's worth of whips. Like I told you, some of these will move around, or based on homework, based on if I have even got to stitch that night, things like that. But this is a base idea. What I did was I first went through my year of whips. I got every single one of those on the calendar because those are my focus pieces for the entire year. Then my Mania, because with Mania being next month, any Mania pieces I can finish this month just opens up a new start for next month. And then next was because I can't get all my pieces in a month, I went with anything that hadn't been worked on in the last 2 months. Now, to decide this, I have a system. Sorry about that. These purple X's, this is my April calendar. These purple X's mean I worked on it last month. So if they don't have a mark, I wrote them down. And then I go to last month and see if they had an X last month. And then I crossed out the ones that did, and then I went down the row and just grabbed a few of them to finish out my month. So, so here's where we got to on that. So if you look at my calendar, my Haid is always going to get worked on first. It's Mini Alice in a Dolly Dream all month long. So you will see it every day for the entire month. Then the project that got picked, and then I already know my Whip Go for this first week is House Targaryen, and then next week I'll fill that in when we spin on Saturday. So we got, and I do use abbreviations as much as possible, at our house for someone else. Peter Polar Bear, Flag of Stars, Guardians of Notre Dame, Mini Treasure Hunt Bookshelf, Mini Phantom of the Masquerade. That's week 1. And I did that for the whole month. Like I said, they can get moved around. It's all in pencil. Now the 19th, I did leave that space open for a new start. Not only because I always start a new one on the 19th, but also because April was the month was one of the months I set for my Harry Potter starts. So on the 19th, we will spin and see which Harry Potter piece I will be starting that day. So, and I may give the new start until midnight, and then from midnight to whatever I may split that one with one that's not on the calendar at all. Something like that. So that's that. Something that had not gotten worked on this month and didn't make it on that list is, let's see. I haven't worked on Flossmas, the Flossmas ornament by 4 Boys and an NL Girl, since the Flossmas. So I'm gonna pull that one out and just throw some stitches in it until midnight. I might actually be able to get that one finished up, depending on how much focus I have. Like I said, I still need to go through and tally up all my numbers for the month, things like that when I get to midnight. So we'll see. I'll check in with y'all here in a little bit, show you where I got to, show you anything else that I have managed to add to this book between now and then, and we'll see you then. Good morning, everybody. Got some, there we go. So, last night, I don't know, didn't really go as planned, but went as planned. Does that make sense? So, before midnight, I decided to work on my Flossmas ornament because it hasn't been worked on since December, and it was something I could, you know, knock out. I still haven't done the adding of the numbers and stuff like that. Keep getting distracted. So here's where I got on the Flossmas ornament. So all I had was Flossmas 2018 when I first started. Added all this and all this around here. So I got some pretty good progress on that. And then at midnight, I stopped working on that. Took a quick dinner break. And then they were talking about being on virtual stitchers, so I jumped on there. This was right around the time homework released. So Belinda helped me to pick out my first homework assignment, because tonight is not the official start of my focusing on one thing all night long. I could pick whatever I wanted. And our first homework was to complete something that, not complete it. Work on something that's nearly complete. Why are we doing this? I will tell you when it loads. For the Fat Lady Vanishing, stitch on a project that is very close to a finish. At least 75% completed. I was like, I know I have some close to completion like that, but I'm not sure they have 300 stitches to be able to do the homework. Well, Belinda reminded me that I did, in fact, have At Our House by Lizzie Kate. This one is the one that I'm not doing for myself, that goes, let's see if that can focus, literally, let me move those threads, all the way down to the bottom. Yeah. But it was definitely 75% complete. It's probably close to like 85% now, because I finished the bee stand, finished the word hugs, put this in, finished the second heart, all of this and this. Because, so I started it for this, you know, at least 75% complete. I did the 300 stitches there. And then homework 2 for Professor Snape abandoning the lesson plans. Stitch on a project that has gone off course. A mistake you have run with, a project you've changed. So first of all, this one is not charted in DMC. I had to do a conversion, and even then, like, some of the colors it would have said it was supposed to be, I was like, eh, that's not gonna work for me. So I picked some of the colors in here. And like, the font is supposed to be the same brown as this. I changed it up because the person that I'm giving this to, her favorite color is purple. So, oh my goodness, it's just so gorgeous. So I have 2 to 3 lines left, because it's not perfect. Like, it's short, and then something big right here. So we're getting really close. I really need to sew that fabric on to be able to finish it. or stitch it in hand maybe. Either way, I'm going to have to put fabric on it before I finish it. So let's hope I get to do that soon. So I got 2 of my homeworks complete tonight with this. So, that is it. That's all I worked on tonight. And printing, more printing, lots of printing. I feel like I'm forgetting something that I was going to say, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to get everything packed up. I really need to move all this card stuff over to iMovie so I know how long this is. We may not have very many more sessions before it's time to upload. So I'm going to get to cleaning up, and then of course I'm going to work on House Targaryen until my relief gets here, probably within the next half an hour or so. So not a lot of time to stitch there, but you know, and I will show you all that this evening. So I hope y'all are having a great stitchy time, and I'll see you. And for you it'll be a few seconds. For me it'll be after I sleep and come back to work. You know. Hey everybody, quick check-in because I finally got all the files moved over to my iMovie and started putting it together and realized it is over an hour long. Sorry I gabbed so much, but I'm not sorry. That's what we're here for, right? And I'd already put up my camera and everything, so I just figured I'd pop on here, let y'all know that I'm going to end this vlog here, that I will upload it, and then we will see you in next week's vlog. So I want to thank everybody for sticking with me for almost an hour and a half, for coming back every time. If you're new here, thank you, and I hope you enjoyed it. Not usually quite this chatty. Pretty chatty, but this one's extreme. So I hope to see y'all soon. Happy stitching.